Just kidding. I'm gonna keep us unmuted. But cheers, fellas. Hello again.
Cheers.
What is this song?
I've never heard it before. That would probably be it.
Calling the doctor. Can you fix a broken heart? Tell me you love me. You love me. Till death do us part. Calling the doctor.
Do you recognize this, McCurdy?
Need a shock and need it quick. No hands to kiss
is,
you, no hands to kill
1962
you,
Dr.
no
No.
hands to love you again, Doctor. No,
No hands to love you.
The ball is set to play.
No
Wait,
hands
hold
to
on.
kiss you, no hands to kill you, no hands to love you. Love you
We'll
again.
fight for the
There you go.
same side,
Beautiful.
or are we enemies?
Nance, I need you to run over here with a bong. Stat.
Make your move.
I don't have one.
Are you a born
See what other props I have on.
Do you have any of the David Jack?
You know what I have that's disgusting?
Calling the
Still have this.
doctor.
Still have
Can
it.
you
It looks like
fix
it's
a
water now.
broken heart?
I haven't been drinking it.
I wonder if
Yeah.
Charlie still has the piss bottle full of piss.
Till death do us part. Calling the doctor. Doctor. Need a shock and need it quick. No hands to kiss you, no hands to kill you, no hands to love you again. Calling the doctor. Can you fix a broken heart? Tell me you love me. You love me. Till death do us part. Calling the doctor. Doctor. Need a shock and need it quick. No hands to kiss you, no hands to kill you, no hands to love you again. Doctor, no.
Why does this sound like this is from the bootleg Russian version of Dr. No?
Yeah.
I thought he
Put it
sounded
down.
somewhat Asian in his delivery, so
It does remind
Very
me of
fitting.
like I don't know if you watch any anime, but you know like the anime.
okay.
openings
Hopefully
for
that
films
sounded
and
all
stuff.
right. Hopefully, sorry to interrupt, but hopefully we all sound all right because all of our we're completely out of whack. We haven't recorded in 5 months because of excuses, because of a million excuses. That
Really,
was
Charlie?
As far as I
That-
could tell, it sounded
Really,
all right.
Charlie?
I'm one of the 3 watching the
Uh-huh.
live stream, so
Oh, nice. Yeah, right
think
on.
I was
Why
able
don't
to
you
hear everything.
you should super chat us with your opinion.
Mm.
Okay, so QWERTY
Ooh,
commented,
Charlie.
Travis TLC, who removed the Chinese from his name. So in the DAD episode, I make a fool of myself trying to read the Chinese that used to be in his name, and then when his name pops up, the Chinese is gone. So I just
now
look
you
like
really
a
look
racist
foolish.
fool. So yeah. Anyway, that was No Hands to Love You. Yeah. We talked in Travis in I think it was in Twine. We talked about how the Chinese meant Eye of Gold. We were like, that's awesome, but now the Chinese is gone. So then I look stupid. Yeah, that was No Hands to Love You. So back in the first episode, we talked about how Dr. No doesn't have an official theme song. So that's been fixed. There are now 2. I'll play the other one in a bit, but there's now officially No Hands to Love You and Dr. No Means No are now reality. They exist. So
For
that
better
one's
or
awesome, though.
worse.
I love that one. And then McCurdy, you were saying something. Was it of any import?
Oh, I was talking
No.
about the
Okay.
theme, and it reminded me of like I don't know if you watch anime at all, but it sounds like you know, when you have Japanese anime, they usually have
does.
themes, like either the
Yeah.
exit theme or the intro theme or something like that. That's what it sounded
Yeah.
like. So
And now,
kudos
yeah,
to
we're
them.
best friends going, you know, like, yeah, and it sounds
Yeah.
somewhat
it's
Japanese.
like it's very not what you expect when you're, because you watch the American version and they always have some like really hardcore rock thing. I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
very different sound, and then you watch the Japanese and it's
This was a guy in Argentina, but he kind of sounds like he could be Chinese. Like he sounds Dr. No-esque, even though Dr. No
Japanese.
was Canadian. So yeah, hi everyone. Anybody want to hear excuses for why today, like an hour ago, Die Another Day is finally finished? Let me get to that first. We are
Well, hopefully Qwerty's still here. Even it seems like it might be just me and Travis.
Qwerty, well,
Qwerty
Qwerty commented before we even went live. I didn't even know that was possible, but he pulled that off. Qwerty is a member of the channel. I think that's what that little, maybe that thing
okay.
I don't know. Qwerty is the first official member of Ranked, known as a Ranked supporter. So thank you, Qwerty. You are
Korean barbecue.
You're the shit.
He says,
oh, he is
hurry.
here. Sweet.
There's
Wait,
no
hurry.
excuses good enough. He wants to eat his Korean barbecue.
No, but what are we supposed to do? Something? Do we need to dance? Maybe he wants the next song. Next song
before he leaves.
Okay, so we've been remastering a couple episodes just while I've been generating clips and all that, and whether anybody cares about them or not, there's kind of a purpose to it. Because at some point we're going to put just the audio form of all these episodes up on whatever service pushes them out to all the other services. So that may or may not be done until they're all done. For reasons that I won't get into, but those remastered episodes, they're all up. But I'm just gonna put them out maybe on the 7th of every month, and they're just a better listening and viewing experience all around. But we're just gonna make them for members only, so you still get everything as always. But then just these, and there's a reason for that. We just really don't want to put out multiple versions of one episode. It's just confusing. And with members, you have specific like playlists. I know you can make playlists for anything, but it's like they're separated. Like everybody can get to the original episode, but then the remasters are cut off. It's easier that way. So those exist. If you are a member, it's $1. We get 70 cents of that. YouTube gets 30 cents on the dollar for, letting us use their platform, I guess. But so for virtually nothing, you can help us out and buy McCurdy diapers or something. And then, but the Die Another Day is finished. It is finished. It will upload tonight or tomorrow morning. The reason we're talking about that right now is that, as usual, it'll take a while for copyright to clear. But the way that things work now with memberships is that basically anything you're watching in that like members only videos, it's not going to be monetized. You're essentially paying for ad free. That being the case, that means that if you're a member, you don't need to wait for copyright to clear. So as early as tomorrow, if you're a member, you'll get the new episode, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of let this one just be as long as it needed to be. It's 2 hours 59 minutes to the frame, just because it's. Just to say, sorry, we've been gone for so long. McCurdy, why have you sabotaged this channel by not letting me make a new episode for like 5 months?
Well, I'm sure Qwerty
it's
and
all
other
your
people
fault,
are
right?
curious.
Why is it
other
my fault?
reasons
You're the
too
one
for the dog.
writing your
It's
Mein
like,
Kampf book.
Charlie bought a house and moved. I helped my dad move across country. McCurdy, you've had projects and work, and you have kids and stuff too.
Yeah, but
you have all
it's
kinds of
it's
reasons.
like
Well, I
to
always
live.
have kids.
it's
Sometimes you
yeah.
have kids.
Hopefully he'll always have kids. Let's hope
always
that he
have kids.
always has kids. Yeah, my stupid excuses are I took a month off to I have a book I've been writing. I wrote it over COVID over like a month or two. And I've just been cleaning it up ever since because I didn't think I would do anything with it, but I've been cleaning it up. And so I was like, I'll just take a month real quick to do that. We'd already recorded. I keep wanting to say Diamonds Are Forever. Same movie though. We recorded Dad, and then I went off for a month to write the book, and then suddenly a house came up in Indiana. So now I live down the street from Nan's. Everything behind me I can't dump beer on the floor anymore because this is kind of it's not that much of a nicer setup.
It's not
floor wise
a cabin.
Yeah, I'm not in a cabin in the woods anymore. So that took a while. Then as Nan's was helping me move in, I cut the tip of my finger off. And I know I sound stupid, but without the tip of your finger, you can't do anything. I couldn't type. I couldn't work. Like I could hardly play video games. I could hardly be a bum, with all my stupid excuses to not work. But on top of that, just constant stuff. And then eventually I was like, forget about the book. I just need to get DAD out. And it's so maybe like 3 weeks ago or something. That's all I've been doing. I also took a lot of jobs too. It was just one thing after another. And then I was on YouTube. And it's like, it's been 5 months since you've put anything out. And I about puked. So
well, that's why the shorts and clips started up too, right? It's like at least we got to try to put something out there.
Yeah. Something would always be going out the door. Yeah. So and it's been nice. It has led to
seen it all, but still,
say again
something. The people that have watched all the episodes, it's stuff they've seen before, but
yeah. But honestly, though,
keeps us on the radar a little bit.
It never hurts to, even if you don't watch a video, just click like on it. Just that always helps. But because every once in a while one of those just kind of does well. But the important thing is that DAD is good to go. It's out, or it's like it'll be out for members tomorrow. And then YouTube said that they're changing their copyright process to where it won't be 30 days. It'll be 7 days. And I don't know if that's for everybody yet, but we'll see, because that would be fantastic. Because it's for some reason, MGM, they don't just come through and say yes or no. They just ignore it. And so you have to wait for it to expire, and it takes 30 days. But again, for members, they don't have to wait, because the ad-free experience, like eventually every episode will be up ad-free, right? It'll be like twin playlists, the originals as they are, that won't change. But then in members only, every episode will be in there without ads on it. And so without ads, you don't have to deal with any of that. So that's again, for $1 a month, and then just like unmember if you ever want to, because it's only 70 cents, but it's
definitely a work in progress.
For us, it's just a start, and then down the road we'll do more fun stuff. Even though YouTube doesn't have that much fun stuff, they have like custom emojis. Maybe we'll make one of Nan's face or something. But yeah, it's like stickers and emojis, and really the best perk that I think is just having those members only videos, because it does give you an excuse to not put ads. It's like, hey, you're already paying for content. Here it is without ads at all, because we have ads every 10 minutes. And so far, nobody's complained. Only my cousin. My cousin's like, too many ads, bro. I was like, shut up. We put a lot of time into this. So anyway, that's everything, including our excuses. Do you guys want to hear Dr. No Means No?
What was the first one?
That
No
was
Hands to Love
No Hands to Love You.
Okay, and Dr. No
And at
Hands
some point, I'm gonna upload these. At some point, I'm gonna make like a lyric video for these or something. But this is us just
I don't know.
Coming in saying hi.
We have a handful of watchers. I don't know if anyone
gone.
has questions. Or are we
So
gonna
far,
play the
it's just
song and keep
Travis.
hanging out, or what's the plan?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna play
Okay.
it, and then we'll just hang out as long as we want. But that's everything I wrote down. Like our BS excuses. The only other idea I was gonna float to you guys is at some point I want to get a salt gun. We only talked up the salt gun in one episode, I think. That may have been Moonraker or something, but I put the link to the salt gun in every. I don't think anybody's bought one yet, which is tragic. They're the best thing ever.
My father-in-law's bought us
did.
No, my father-in-law bought one.
Yeah, so we probably made 5 cents off of him buying that. That's great.
Hey, there you go.
But we should get one. I want to do like a members only raffle. Get a salt gun and paint it gold, and then raffle it amongst our like 2 members for who gets to be the man with the golden gun, the man with the golden salt gun. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and it'll just go to QWERTY, you know. But yeah, because right now we have, again, QWERTY Manor was our first. He popped their cherry, and then Pat O'Meara. I think Pat reached out to me personally on Reddit. I've had a couple people reach out to me personally on Reddit and just be like, "Hey, ranked is a lot of fun. Thank you." And I'm like, "Thank you for watching us be idiots." So yeah, QWERTY says, "Gimme."
QWERTY's like, "Gimme."
Unfortunately, QWERTY, you were a shoo-in for it. Now it's a coin flip whether or not you'll be the man with the golden gun. Okay. Enough ado. How do I share again? We are going to pull up again. This is Dr. No Means No. Again, coming straight out of Argentina.
There's a video behind it?
No, there's no video. It's just I had to make it a video file.
I was telling Charlie he needs to make music videos for him, but that would take away from.
That would be fantastic. That would be the greatest, but I like
McCurdy. Maybe
we need like 1,000 members before we can start doing stuff like that, because that would be phenomenal. Get like the hottest babes on the planet to sing this, because she's got a good voice. I don't even know her name. She's got a fantastic voice.
Are they both produced by the same person?
Yeah.
Okay. So he found a singer.
Yeah. That's him singing, but then the female is one he brings in. You guys can't hear. I'm going to turn it up for myself.
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
There was a man of ill repute, a ghost, a specter. The world in his hands he held. He watched them crumble. He watched them fall. The east, the west can't contain the beauty of his skull.
Don't you worry now, put your mind at ease. Lest he takes your soul too.
Doctor, no, it means no. Don't you take another step.
All the flesh crumbles to ash.
You're radioactive man, Doctor.
Glad you're seeing the humor in it, McCurdy.
No, it means no. Get out of my way. You're a monster in human clothing. Your spectre fades away, away, away. Made of stone. If I had my chance, I see you fall. No regrets now, we're set to play. Your last mistake was looking away.
specters complete and you fade away.
And obviously the idea was, you know, this would be like from Honey Rider's perspective about getting raped, obviously. That's what they hint at.
You can touch. Hope this island of corruption is the place I see you land. Doctor, no, Doctor, no, Doctor, no, Doctor, no. God save the Queen, or may the devil take your soul. Doctor, no, it may know past the point of
Like, just
no
in your mind's eye, if you see this opening the film and it's Dr. No means no.
Fades away, fades away, fades away, fades away. Baby, you're fading away.
You're not
Walking away.
You play your hand, I call you bluff. You're out of luck, my friend. Doctor, no. Hope not to see you again.
The way it sounds
Hope not
versus
to see you again.
the
I can't hear you, man. You have to speak up.
Fades away, fades away, fades away, fades away, fades away. Your spectre fades away.
I'm so happy these exist.
Fades away, fades away, fades away, fades away, fades away, fades away. Your spectre fades away.
like the way the song sounds versus the topic or the
Right?
title.
Yeah. Because at one point I was like, dare we try to make it funny? And it's like, well, it kind of is no matter which way you cut it. That's kind of why it has to be approached so seriously, because it's really good, but then it's absurd. I mean, like, if you consider the lyric.
So yeah, the main channel update is we're getting into music production, mostly diss tracks, and
yeah.
we'll all be dyeing our hair shortly.
Ranked
we're
records.
switching
you wanting me
colors.
Coming at
shoot-
ya.
Charlie, you want me to shoot a music video for No Me Dr. No?
Yes.
Dude,
No.
I mean, McCurdy, please divide and conquer. I can't do it. I need to. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna put out the post for. Maybe I'll do it right now. Put out the post. It's like, give us your thoughts on Casino, because we might just shoot Casino next opening we get, because again, excuse me, beyond all my BS, McCurdy's just constantly on set. So it's like trying to fit this in when we can. So and then, yeah, if you on the side, if you want to get a bunch of babes to shoot Dr. No Means No.
Dr. No means no, baby.
You just need a guy with robot hands. I mean, how hard could it be to get a little cosplay of this, and then you know, that'd be fantastic.
Dr. No means no.
I'm gonna put those out just on their own. I'm just gonna put out like a lyric video and probably post it to Reddit, just like, hey, official theme songs for Dr. No exist now. But I don't know. Beyond that, I just don't have the time to do a video. But yeah, I'll do it right now. I'm gonna find the. It's kind of late, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna get the poster of Casino Royale, and let's post it, and let's start getting everybody's opinions on it, because at some point there's gonna be a window for us to record, and we'll be ready with everybody's takes, everybody's hot takes. Or maybe I'll just post a picture of Daniel Craig without a shirt on. That might be better. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, what do you guys think of this song? Did you like the song?
was hot.
It's great.
Yeah. So hot.
Great. It's going to be great.
That's going to be great. That's going to be great. Anyway, that's everything. So I plan on just hanging out until the remnants of this cerveza are gone. So, Nance, what have you been up to?
Oh,
you moved your dad back from
helping my dad
Cali.
move across country. Crashed a car.
Oh yeah, tell us about that because
not much to tell.
You should flash the photos. It looked like you got in a fight. It was pretty great.
Did it? Oh, well, just like the carpet.
It looked like you got
here.
Uppercut, hardcore uppercut.
Oh, I did. An airbag exploded in my face, but
yeah,
I took it like a champ. The truck took it like a champ. Kept the show on the road.
We're glad you
survived,
bruh.
What else have I been up to? Just working in the yard. Nothing exciting. Going over to your house, helping you move.
Yeah, Nans is only a matter of minutes away, and I got a free pool table from Nextdoor, which is a godsend, and we've made use of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then at least a couple times a week on average, probably.
Yeah, and then you last he was here, we watched the DAD episode, and he told me it sucked, and it was really embarrassing because we're also
needed a lot of work still.
Drunk the whole time,
Charlie's
wasted.
Of it, so he's just gonna put it out.
Yeah, it's like half finished. It's like mostly fart jokes. It sucks, but give us $1 to be a member to watch it tomorrow. Okay, let's say I'm just gonna say Casino Royale recording is next. Post a comment here, or I'll just say post your.
Where are you posting this? This is a Reddit
opinions post? Here. No. This is just on.
No, we get comments, right? Yeah.
This is on YouTube. So, Casino Royale recording is next. Post your thoughts and opinions here, and we'll discuss them in the next episode. Works for me.
Yeah.
Post.
This is exciting.
It cut off his head. I wasn't supposed to do that. There we go. I don't know. Maybe it's just on this poster, but the poster that I just posted, it just doesn't look like Daniel Craig. It looks like somebody else's body.
Is it a Japanese one? You've been using a lot of Japanese movie posters.
Dude, because the Japanese ones are so much better, and then they just tie in really well with like the aesthetic of our
this one cut it
look,
off.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like this is when all the movie posters started looking like shit. Because even looking at this movie poster, looks kind of photoshopped.
But his head is not his head.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, why does it?
McCurdy, also, are you normally in wife beaters? Like, are you normally looking?
No,
it's looking pretty psychedelic.
Are you planning on getting drunker and beating your wife?
What?
Is this Fight Club?
What?
Now he just looks like a druggie.
Yeah, well, McCurdy became a stoner in the last 5 months.
No, I'm like talking about the movie poster. It definitely looks like they added his face.
Yeah, which is weird. I mean, they could have avoided that by not coloring his face like that. Like you could easily bring it down the brightness.
But you can also tell
it doesn't look so shitty.
You can tell that what's her face is that Eva Green. She definitely looks like they added her in there too. And
yeah, but that looks like her body. Yeah, Cordy, I'm trying to see because now where I'm at, all my stuff is here. except maybe my Bond stuff might still be in the cabin. Maybe not. But I have a Blu-ray of it somewhere as well. Let me see. I want to see what I got.
I know I have it on Blu-ray. I can find it pretty quick. Is there somewhere where
Yeah, but like
McCurdy, you
look,
were seeing the image, or did you just Google
no,
it?
I pulled it. No, this is on our YouTube. So yeah, but like you can kind of tell like right here,
On like
it
the
looks like
community.
he's kind of cut off. You know, like
Oh,
they
yeah.
use the little. I don't know if you've ever used Photoshop,
Oh,
but you know you have like the
weird.
select tool.
They like airbrushed his face to.
But yeah, it looks like they
Yeah.
use some kind of highlight because yeah, and then when you look at the rest of the poster, it just kind of looks a little weird. Like doesn't.
Looks like he's wearing a lot of foundation,
Yeah.
some sort of makeup that
Hold
doesn't
on,
match
I
his
want to
face.
fix this. I don't like how this is set up. Why is it? Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second.
Yeah, I
Eva
don't think
Green
so.
looks weird
don't-
too.
I think
That's just it's just so boring.
Hold on, how do I
Yeah.
do that again? Hold on, let me fix that. Go back.
But I don't have a all my Bond movies are back up north. So that's where I keep all the man stuff.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Man stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, the US poster. Yeah. Oh, here. Do I need to add that? Add
Yeah,
to stream.
select it. Okay, so
Got it.
yeah, because I was telling Nance like you can
Like, it looks
see,
so bad.
like right there. It's really bad. She looks, you know,
She looks.
but even
she's
that, like,
fantastic.
look, no. but
Her
look at
face
hair.
looks weird.
I'm not talking about her body herself. I'm talking about the image itself. Like, look around. Like, it looks like they cut it out right here, and it was a bad, shitty cutout, and they cut
Well,
it.
we can't
they
see
blurred
what
it.
you're pointing at, can we? I can't
You're
see your
looking at it.
mouse.
Okay, well, my mouse is pointing at her hair.
Are you? But
Oh,
okay.
it doesn't
I mean,
show the mouse. That's crazy. Okay.
It's weird, yeah. And I could believe that,
wonder if
but
I can
she's
zoom right in,
obviously a
no?
lot easier to believe. I mean, you would never think twice about her, and them Bobes, you know, because that's what
Well, when we
people are all
record the
about.
episode for
But-
Casino, let's all put some real like
Oh, you can't
cake
see
up
my mouse
with
now?
makeup.
Charlie, you
Yeah,
can
we'll
see my
And
mouse now.
use
just
we'll use
shine a light on our faces
We'll
real
use some
bright.
amber lights instead of daylight.
But yeah,
But
but
yeah,
look at
that's
like even his head. His head looks really cut off, like right here. And then
It's
you're right; it
weird.
doesn't look like
It
it's
looks
his
like
body.
he's jutting
But what
forward.
and that's why I wanted to see if I had my Blu-ray, because I couldn't tell if this was just some knucklehead on the internet did this, or like Cordy does it look this shitty on your Blu-ray? Because like I get that you want to highlight like that, but that could easily be fixed. So
Here,
obviously
let me
they did
stop
it on
sharing that real
purpose.
quick. Hold on.
You
Let me
know,
pull up.
oh, Nans is getting his
Let's
Blu-ray.
have some fun. Let's have some fun, shall we?
Let's have some fun.
Have some
I
fun.
still have
Casino.
good 3/4, 2/3 of my brewski left. Anyway, dude, okay. This episode, the Die Another Day episode, is I kept trying to trim it, but like we were having a lot of fun. Like at one point, you say in the episode, you're like, you know how in Goldeneye we were trying to find things to argue about because that movie's so good. In this movie, we're trying to find things to argue about because this movie's so bad. Like that's a direct quote, and it's brilliant because that's exactly what we're doing. Is we're like, you know, I go on for a third of the time is probably me talking about Halle Berry, which I think somebody commented. Maybe it was
I
Nikolai.
guess I don't
was
have
like,
it either.
I can't wait to hear Charlie talk for 45 minutes straight about Halle Berry, and he must be a prophet because that's exactly what happened. But it's a fun one though. It's fun because it's long, but we're just boozing the whole time, just like trying to forget our troubles, and it shows.
Putting on some beer goggles for Halle Berry, but
McCurdy suffers
away.
the most. Like McCurdy, I make fun of you consistently throughout because you slur your fucking words as it is. But in this episode, it's like it's on a whole nother level, dude.
I was really drunk.
It's
What did
so-
I have? Cayman Jack?
you had a
'cause I was
six
trying to go
pack
with
of
Infinity.
Cayman Jacks.
Dude, it's okay. We should, if we had a brain in our heads, we would have reached out to Cayman Jack but it comes across as if we did. It comes across as if they paid for the episode or something, because like the whole time we're talking about Cajun Jack or Cayman Jack mojitos. Like, yeah, that was such a good call bringing in a sixer of Cayman Jacks, because it just ended up being from beginning to end. It's like that's the theme of the episode is Cayman Jack mojitos.
I downed a whole 6-pack of those things, and it was not fun.
Yeah,
It was
what's
fun.
the
You must have
follow-up
been
to that?
hungover the next
'Cause-
day, right?
Well, dude, because okay, yeah. Preface: I've said to you guys before that I see you guys a lot more than you see me, because I am. Yeah, Kevin said McCurdy's a lightweight. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm with you guys a hell of a lot more than you're with me digitally, right? So I'm hanging out with you guys all day, cracking up at the same jokes over and over and over, and then so last I left you guys, McCurdy's like, I gotta go to bed. I just drank 6 Cayman Jacks. I couldn't drink more though. It's like, no, go drink water and go to bed. What happened the next day? And is your wife pregnant?
No, I don't even remember what happened the
He
next
probably
day.
doesn't.
But that was
know
so.
what
That
you're
was
talking
like
about.
5 months ago, because somebody didn't edit the episode
Yeah.
those 2 weeks after we shot it. I don't know what happened.
I have life aspirations that unfortunately are Hitlerian in nature, as you put
Maybe.
it. Writing
maybe.
Mein Kampf in my basement.
This
you
video
know.
is gonna get removed from YouTube.
Oh, shit.
How
No
many times
update.
can you say MK before and H before YouTube removes you and flags you? We should test it out.
I don't know, man.
We're way past the limit already.
But okay, what happened the next day? Did you even work, or were you watching Ghostbusters all
don't-
day?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
That's
I
appropriate.
don't remember
He
when we
doesn't
shot it.
remember.
When did we shoot the episode? Do you remember what day it was?
I can look it up
Yo,
exactly. Actually, I do kind of need to know, because I fill out all that information because
I don't remember when we shot it, and I've had so much stuff happen to me since then that like I don't remember what I did that day. I do, for some reason, still have all the Cayman Jack. You can't really see it. But
Well,
I
yeah,
have all the-
they're clinking on the floor the whole
I have, like-
episode.
I have all those.
March 13th. Oh, that just like makes me want to
oh
puke.
my gosh.
Wow.
But like that's the thing. Okay. I'm just gonna throw this
What's it
out
in March
for
13th?
any of y'all who care. So we've got September, October, November, December. We have 4 months left of the year, and the goal was to get all of Bond done by 2023. Sorry, probably not going to happen, because I do need to finish Mein Kampf. I do need to finish this book. But like every day, that's all I'm doing is working on these 2 things, and obviously want Bond to be as good as possible. The weird thing about now that we're done with the first 20, the Daniel Craig movies are technically separate. I for some reason I think that they will be somewhat shorter. They'll maybe be, I think Casino's going to be a fun episode, because it'll be like a battle for the top. We haven't really had that in a while, but that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a blast. But maybe we'll bring Scott back as a wild card. But
Is your
but-
comp ranked?
yes.
Isn't
don't know what
Mein
that-
Kampf like my struggle or something?
Yeah. My life struggle. Yeah. What if you just speak German and you're just like, yeah, my Kampf in life is, it's like saying my
Editing
burden.
these
People are like, excuse me,
videos.
what did you say? Did you just say Mein Kampf? Okay. What I'm getting at is that we're going to get as much Bond done before 2023 as possible, but I need to take September and just finish the book, but also we're going to record Casino. And then after I'm done with that, like Casino will be out. Maybe we'll get through Skyfall. No promises, because until we have like 1,000 members who things will be different, because right now the homeboy got to get paid. So I take jobs as they come. Same with all of us. But what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is that my brain just derailed.
Beyond Bond,
next year. Yeah, but okay, so beyond 2022. Our plan is we're gonna
Beyond
keep
the
doing
Bond.
exactly as we've been doing. We're gonna do these long form edits that take me 6 months at a time to put together, and because those are great, those are a lot of fun. But what we're gonna do simultaneously, and this is where my eyes are gonna fall out of my head and be all bloody. We are gonna start doing a rankings of new releases. So basically 2023, we're gonna, and this is another thing where it's like, hopefully y'all will become members where it'll be putting out this weekly stuff, and hopefully that'll give you that value. We're constantly trying to find ways of giving members value. Again, ad-free experiences and getting videos early and all that is part of that. 2023, let's say out of 52 weeks, let's say we do 50 new releases. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about any new movie that comes out on any like theatrical release or streaming video or whatever, and cover it. And they're going to be shorter. They're going to be like 10, 15, 20-minute videos covering a new release and then ranking that against the previous weeks, so that by the end of 2023, we'll have the top 50 movies as we see it from the year. And but it won't be the same where it's like cutting in the footage and all that. It'll just be more of a discussion type of thing. It'll be fun because a lot of times we have way too much to say about new movies, but at the same time, we're gonna be doing these franchises. So hopefully that's something to look forward to. That's all I'm going to be focusing on the whole year. And then while these guys work jobs outside of that. So, hopefully I don't need glasses by the end of the year because my eyeballs will be burned, but that's the plan. And hopefully that's a lot of fun. And, cause someday we'll run out of Bond. I mean, we could talk about Bond. We frequently do on and off camera 24/7. But at some point we'll hit that No Time to Die, and then we'll just have to, and then we'll do Never Say Never Again, and maybe the parody Casino Royale, but at some point everything we could possibly say will have been said, and then we'll move on to a new franchise. So, fun times ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When did we start Bond?
January of 2021.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
again, as we always joke about, we picked the longest running film franchise ever first, but that was back when like I put together the Dr. No episode in a day. In a day.
Really?
And
Well,
just
we blew through it. We would
point,
blow
was
through
like,
it in a week because you'd go. We were doing each one a week at that point because we
We're
did like
doing
the
one a
first
week.
6 or whatever in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But
And then
now it's
eventually
like-
it was just like
now
there's
we're
too
doing,
much
like,
to say
Every
and
5
do.
months we'll do one
They're-
because somebody
like,
has to write their Mein Kampf book.
If only we could just
Yeah.
live stream watching all the Craig ones, but then it would be like out of step with all the others. We got to finish the series
Yeah.
like the same
Yeah.
way it started.
And there, okay.
And
Anybody
there's some
watching
people
right
will tell you that
now-
it is not the longest running film franchise, but
Well, at the
at the
time,
time, I mean,
yeah, at the time. But
depends on what
we
you
say that
consider
though
longest.
in the DAD episode. We talk about how it kind of still is because you have Marvel, but Marvel
Yeah.
is all these different characters, whereas Bond movies, it's the same character every time. Because what we were talking about in the episode was that they wanted to do the Bond girl spinoffs, and that's kind of what they would have to do to keep up. They would have to have all these, like. Every year a Jinx movie comes out, and then a Bond movie, then a Jinx movie, then a Bond movie, which luckily we don't live in that universe. But Patrick Danye says, yo, is that a friend of yours, McCurdy?
He said that a
No.
long time ago.
Yeah, I know, but I was rambling about nothing. Qwerty is asking about my comp. Yes, mine. That comp is mine, bro. And then Patrick said more Bond would neat. Is he talking about
I
whiskey?
agree.
Yeah, we could just talk about Bond forever, but at some point, like it's gonna be confusing when we move on to a new franchise, and YouTube's like, what? Like the algorithm's like, we thought this was just a Bond channel. What do we do? What do we do? You know, because suddenly it'll shift.
It's
to
Dane.
something
Haha,
new, you know?
yeah.
You said Dane. You said it
Content
right the
out
first
there.
time.
Hopefully we
by
can
far.
get
Cool.
one
We have the best
more out
Bond
before the end
content
of the
out
year.
there by far.
Dude, that
says.
means so
At
much,
least one.
Patrick. That means so much. Like, because I even on Reddit recently, it was like, who's what's his name? The guy who has like the Bond specific channel. And he's British, and he
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
yeah, but he I haven't watched any of his videos just because I don't want him to kind of influence my brain. I want my brain to just be my brain. But I'm sure they're great. But on Reddit they were like, he's so fantastic, and I was like, wouldn't that be great if people just came out of the woodwork to say Ranked was awesome on on Reddit? Instead, it's constant like, you suck. Stop posting here. We hate.
He's
you,"
always
you know?
yelling.
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
really
Why
funny is
is
that
that white
after
Calvin Dyson? Yeah, Calvin Dyson.
No, yeah, Calvin Dyson.
Um,
After a while, I feel like we I don't know if he
Calvin
saw our
Dyson.
videos or something, because I started seeing his videos and they were like very similar to ours, where they were like him arguing with another YouTuber over the ranking of certain films. Or
There's
he'd do a
no
ranking of
way
them.
we have enough influence for
I have no
like,
idea. But you never know. Someone would be
that
like,
guy
well, "What's
to,
next?" So I guess we'll rank them. But
Yeah. Well,
I
and
don't
that's the thing, right? That's kind of the trouble, is that we have a lot to say about Bond, obviously, but again, it can't go on forever. At a certain point,
No.
it's got to just be something else. And like, okay, right now, y'all watching, what would you? We at this point we kind of know what's next, but what? And just pick one franchise. What would you like to see ranked next? Because it's kind
Preferably
of
a short one.
I feel like you do it too short. You can't rank them very, like if it's a trilogy or even just
Yeah.
Well,
four
that's
films.
and
It's
that was
kind
the
of
thing.
short. It's too
We
short.
would just live stream those in the past. If we would have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
trilogy and we would just do a live stream and talk about it. But
Yeah.
it's
But
Lord of
do
the
feel
Rings
like-
would give Charlie a lot to
But-
talk about, but
we
Well,
will
Lord of the Rings is
never
not a
rank
trilogy.
Lord of the Rings. We will
But see,
never
Lord of the Rings is not a
ever
trilogy.
rank Lord of the Rings.
no, exactly.
Lord of the Rings is
I don't
a
know.
long movie
Unrankable.
cut up into 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter seems like an interesting one, but also has been done, and I don't
I
know.
mean,
Wait.
I could see us doing Harry
Patrick
Potter.
said you
Especially
guys
'cause
have the
they
best.
mix
Wait,
up
guys,
with the
guys.
directors.
Patrick said you guys have the best Bond content, and then Travis said, "Yeah, your reviews are as good as any." Thanks, dude.
I mean,
Courtney
Their
wants to
reviews.
see Star Wars, and someday, duh.
I just feel like
course,
Star
we
Wars
have to do
at the
Star
moment
Wars, but-
is. I feel like Star Wars is a
Uh,
hard one to do at the moment, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
But
yeah,
again,
you have
that's something
you have,
we're jumping into 15 Star Wars movies,
and then
after
and then
doing
there's
25.
possibility that a new Star Wars is going to come out in the next 2 or 3 years, that they're planning on doing another film that doesn't
Yeah.
have anything to do
I
with
mean,
the
that
current
would help
trilogy.
the channel, with the algorithm or something.
It's just I'm like,
Yeah, I like
I don't know.
the question from here is, do something that's like 5-6 movies, or jump into something bigger. Like do something quick to cleanse the palate and confuse the algorithm, or just jump right into the next one. Because again, the idea was the idea in the beginning was to do an episode a week and just keep it simple. And I think someday we'll get to that, depending on what the content is, depending on what the franchise is. But there's something about Bond that requires all of this effort and all of this kind of completeness, because there's all these elements. I mean, we go through stuff every episode. It's like, the gadgets and the Bond girl and the villain and comparing them and all that. And there's something specific to the Bond franchise that just requires more talk. And then when you get to something else, it won't require that much. And maybe I'm just being too hopeful, but there's something specific to Bond that just that does require all of this talking, and it has to be finished. This series has to be finished as it started. And then once we move on, we'll see what happens from there. But like ranking Star Wars, I don't know. Maybe you could talk as much about a Star Wars movie as you could Bond, but I don't think so. There's just something about Bond.
I think there's too much to talk about Star Wars, as much as there is. I think most franchises, there's way too much to talk about.
Fast,
But
and
it depends, though. It depends.
I mean, Star Wars is a very interesting history.
Would love to do Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious would be fun.
So
because those movies are just so stupid, but
okay,
they're so much fun. He says, Patrick Dane says, Austin Powers, Mission Impossible, Die Hard.
Which it's tempting to go into those after Bond, but
Austin
we
Powers,
need to
I
just
could
do something
see-
totally different. Like
I
we've
could see a
basically
reason to
already
do
talked a
Austin
lot about
Powers.
Austin Powers, but we could that might be a palate cleanser.
I
but
could see
the point
I could
being
see a
that going
reason to
right
do
into
Austin
that,
Powers.
like we need to do something completely different.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Mission Impossible would be a natural response, but it's too similar. We got to just I'd rather jump to.
I mean,
like a
I
horror
did
franchise.
say a whole thing about how Mission Impossible came out of that era of television with Secret Agent. It was basically like you had, much like today we have Marvel movies on the big screen, and then there were superhero television shows on the small screen. Not mentioning like the Marvel shows, but whatever. Like people were like, oh, people really want superheroes. We got to put superheroes on the small screen. In the same way, you had James Bond was on the big screen, so then TV is like, oh, we got to have super spies on the small screen. So you got just shows like Mission Impossible and the Avengers and whatnot. So it was all kind of the zeitgeist. So it does feel like too close to it. I could see doing Austin Powers as like a separate one-off thing, but I don't feel like you could rank those movies. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would just be like a 1, 2, 3 type thing, because I think it's more about like, oh, what is the parody? What is this each film parodying?
Parodying.
Parroting. It's parroting. What is each film, making fun of?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like ranking it would be kind of like, because it uses a lot of the same jokes. And,
Okay, so,
Die Hard
uh,
definitely is it degrades pretty rapidly between all 5 films. And I've never seen all of them. I've only seen the first 4. I've heard the 5th one is trash. So,
rather than reading all those comments, Travis, I'm just going to say, dude, thank you. Like you watch all our stuff, and you're always in the comment section, and we always appreciate it, dude. I'm just sad that from here on, whenever you pop up, I can't fake that I know Chinese, because I know I was so convincing every time.
they're reviews.
But yeah, at some point though, like the banner on the channel will change, and again, it's just because like this all started because we just wanted to start podcasting, and at the time, Scott Lormer just randomly said, "Yeah, tonight I'm gonna watch Quantum of Solace. That movie sucks." And I was like, "Hold on, wait, no, it doesn't." and then I think I Marco Polo'd McCurdy, and I was like, dude, these guys are talking about how Quantum sucks. And then that started, McCurdy and I Marco Polo'd each other. And I should go back and save these polos. We Marco Polo'd for 3-4 months, and we basically did a dry run of everything that we've done so far. We talked about, like, we watched all the movies in order and just talked about them endlessly. And then at a certain point, it was like, okay, we've been wanting to podcast. Why don't we just do what we just did? Let's just do it again, but just with cameras that aren't our cell phones. So, and very early on, I just remember the first time that he got back to me, and he was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but this Man with the Golden Gun sucks. That was like the beginning of like, oh, this is where we lie. This is where the battlefield lines have been drawn. So
Still sucks, by the way. Still does. I don't know what movie
Why
you were
don't-
watching.
dude,
According to this channel.
I don't know what you
you
were
need
on.
to okay, McCurdy, you need to make a t-shirt about my love for Golden Gun, and I need to make a t-shirt for your love of Secret Service, and guaranteed it's gonna be your face with tears falling out of the eyeballs.
I'm gonna
thinking
just
about
get all the cast
George
members of Lord
Lazenby's
of the
dick.
Rings. All the cast
Travis
members of
Bickle.
Lord of the Rings. By the way, did we talk about? Because I sent you this on Instagram. This just reminds me
Not
of
a
the thing we
full
were talking
episode,
about.
at least.
I saw this thing on Instagram, and it was Lord of the. It was like Lord of the Rings trivia, and I think it was a clip from one of the behind the scenes stuff. But they were talking about how when they were making, I think it was Two Towers, where, or maybe it was Return of the King, but he was talking about how Saruman gets stabbed in the back.
Return of the King.
It was a Return of the King. He gets stabbed in the back, and I think it was a deleted scene, correct? Like
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
this
put it
isn't.
in
No,
the
no, no.
finished
This
one.
isn't an episode though. We talk about Nan's made.
I
a
can't
joke
remember if we
in,
talked about this or not.
And
But yeah,
you
he
only
talked
live
about
twice.
how. He got
in
stabbed
the
in
Only
back.
Live Twice episode, Charles Gray gets stabbed in the back, and Nance
Yeah.
made the joke of, did they consult Christopher Lee for this? Because
Sure.
when he gets stabbed, he just goes. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He barely makes a sound.
Doesn't yell. Well,
Yeah.
apparently in the behind the scenes thing, he was like Peter Jackson was like, "No, I want you to scream or whatever," and he's like, "No, that's not what happens." And he's like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I was in the
It's
I
not.
was in the SAS."
It's.
Yeah. I just thought that was the craziest thing. But I just
it's
saw it and I
fantastic.
thought it just reminded me of that.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, McCurdy. Have you ever watched an episode of Ranked?
Yeah.
What is the last
It's
episode?
been a
you watched?
while, man. I don't watch these like every day like you guys.
No, but I don't think you've watched any of them. I think I don't know. I past Connery. I don't think you've watched any.
I may or may not have watched any of them. Like
Okay.
I've watched most of
And I
them,
don't
but haven't
care. I'm
watched-
just curious because I think it's kind of
No.
funny because I have to keep watching them. I have to keep watching the movies
Yeah.
to keep them fresh in my brain because I
Yeah.
need to be able to pull quotes and shit. But
I let them
Um,
rot away.
yeah,
I have
I
to
think that's
rewatch
great. I
all
think
the
you
movies
guys
and rank
you guys
episodes.
should do that, but I
And prep
can't.
for Casino.
Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, wait, real quick. Travis, we just McCurdy and I did a live stream about our reaction to No Time to Die, but we haven't done it yet. Yeah, Cordy, Quantum is going to be that'll be fun. That'll be a really fun one. He says something that McCurdy won't like, so I'm not going to read it. But Travis says Pierce as Dr. Fate in Black Adam. I don't know anything about Black Adam nor Dr. Fate, but I'm always happy to see
The Rock.
Pierce Brosnan doing his ASMR in every single movie he's in. 69 years old and is playing second to the most famous actor on this planet. Okay, and that's
Pierce is a
okay.
good-looking man.
And Die Another Day, we talk about how I'll just say it real quick right now.
He's talking about
right
he's talking
now.
about Black Adam.
But he's also talking about Pierce Brosnan in Black Adam with The Rock.
Yeah. That's what I'm
And so I say at the end of the episode, I'm like, you went Sean Connery, then you went George Lazenby, then you went back to Sean Connery. Why not do that right now and make a Pierce Brosnan movie that caps off the 20 movies? Because Die Another
Bring
Day
Halle Berry
is
back.
the end. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. I would accept that if that's what it took. It'd be like, okay, sure. But why not make a one-off movie with Brosnan right now while you're looking for the next James Bond? Makes total sense to me. You did it with Connery. Why not do it right now with Pierce? Because your film franchise is missing a piece because you just rebooted everything with Quantum of Solace, with Casino Royale. Why not right now in the interim make your 21st, like your 20, the movie that follows Die Another Day that caps off James Bond? And we talk about that in depth in the Die Another Day episode, but why not do that right now? That would make complete sense. And then, and then go off with Henry Cavill or whoever you want to cast. But in the interim, bring in Pierce, because Pierce, it would just complete everything, because the those movies are their own thing, and then the Daniel Craig movies are their own thing. And people who want to say they're all one thing, it's like, it really just isn't. It just is not. They're separate universes almost. So just cap it off, make one more with Pierce. There's literally no reason to not do it, and everybody would love it. But he says Golden Gun is my favorite Travis says Golden Gun is my favorite Moore film, basically because of Scaramanga. Exactly. I'm trying not to read the Golden Gun comments because it's going to trigger McCurdy, but like he's not wrong. Other than The Spy Who Loved Me being awesome. I've watched every episode twice except for one. Well, QWERTY, you're the one of 2 members, so you'll get them ad free. You can watch them very efficiently. Pierce has a new M. That's kind of like the Moneypenny thing we talked about before. People wanted Moneypenny to become M, and it was like that would just confuse people. Just play everything or nothing. I think I played that game briefly, but I should just watch through or buy a GameCube disc or something. His hair is literally white now. He would look odd at this age. Yeah, but I mean,
just dye it black.
Everybody
Get
dyes
black.
it. Yeah, like every actor has.
They need to dye it. No, I don't even think they need to dye it black. I think he
Let
should
him
be.
be-
You know, we talk about Charlie? Didn't we talk about how everyone talks about The Rock as secretly a James Bond movie, and he's actually James Bond, and he's been in Alcatraz or wherever for this many years, and that's what that movie is to some people.
I
could see the same thing. They just do. They could do like Old Man. I mean, and they don't have to necessarily make it completely white, but I don't know if I don't know if that is actually his hair color or if they've dyed it. They could have done that. Like it could be
in DAD. We talk about how they could pull this off,
it could be
a fun way that people would.
But it still could be. They could still bring him back as Old Man Bond. We a couple of years ago we got Old Man Logan, Old Man Wolverine. So it's not.
Again, it would
every
be for
idea
the
is possible.
purposes
Let
of capping
me say
it.
it this way. It's whatever idea it's possible. They could still do that kind of film. But I tried to watch November Man.
I remember that Willem Dafoe is the bad guy in Everything or Nothing, which is hilarious. But yeah, we talked about November Man as well. I love November Man was all right. I loved The Foreigner, and of course I did because it's Martin Campbell. And Brosnan isn't like a badass in that, but he's still he's awesome. It was fun to see Brosnan not playing his charming self, but playing this like IRA, right? Irish Republican Army.
The IRA.
The IRA. Yeah. Does it make sense to think all the first 20 films follow the same Bond? Die Another Day and Dr. No are 40 years apart. Yeah, they do. That's the thing. They do, and they make an effort to kind of keep them that way, and then they completely rebooted it with Craig. So people would say like, "Oh no, technically you start with Casino Royale and then you go to this," and they try to fill it in. It's like, no, it really is just the first 20 movies and then 21.
I had read, there was somebody who did they did like a little infograph, because I remember after we watched,
I saw it too.
There was an infograph that somebody made because technically there are other reasons why you could say, well, that doesn't quite make sense, because a lot of the stuff that Bond is dealing with during the Cold War, which is like basically all the Connery and Moore films, doesn't quite add up and make sense with the same Pierce Brosnan, especially when the time periods and the technology and everything. But they made like this infograph that was like, the events of Goldfinger take place during this time period because based off this Bond that you see in, take like if you've watched the any of the new like if you watched the new Spider-Man or watched Multiverse of Madness, a lot of people have seen like this new multiverse idea where you have different universes going on at the same time. I kind of equate the Bond timeline to that in a way where you can be like, oh well, the events that happened in the other movies did happen to Pierce Brosnan, but maybe time was shifted up or whatever.
There's just two though.
But it doesn't really matter.
It's a
no.
biverse. It's a biverse.
No. Hold on. we're talking about just everybody who played Bond. And again, like I
Mm.
think that these films really play into the meta-ness of it because like yeah, you get to a point where it's like it doesn't exactly make sense because even Pierce Brosnan, we establish after Goldeneye, is like he's very much like dealing with this stuff post Cold War, and like he was dealing with, being a secret agent in the '80s, and they make reference to it in Goldeneye, but like some of the technology that's used in From Russia with Love and everything else prior to those, like prior to any of the '80s films, the age gap wouldn't make any sense. So I think there's just a little bit of like a kind of tongue in cheek, like whatever. It's just we're making
Well,
these
okay,
movies.
okay.
They keep on going.
Realistically,
But I know what
end
you're
of the
talking about.
day-
Hold on, but I know what you're
End
talking
of the
about.
day, there's
Casino
never going
after
to be
these
anything
films.
clean. The moment
No,
that
no,
you
no.
recasted Connery, you shattered the whole thing forever, and that's why they made these kind of half-assed
Good call,
attempts
Travis.
at keeping
Yeah,
some
and
kind of
Travis
continuity.
makes the
And it's
No, what would have
Travis
been
does
really
make the
sweet
point
is
with
at the end of
Tracy's
No
wife
Time
and
to
stuff.
Die, when he,
Yeah.
spoilers, explodes, if he had a flashback to all the previous movies. That would have been amazing.
Okay.
his entire life flashes before his eyes before he explodes.
And just like digitally put in Daniel Craig's
Well,
face in
at-
all the
at
And
other
one
this is
movies.
point I
something we'll
said
get
it, though,
into
like,
when
okay,
we
in the casino
this
poster.
is definitely something we'll get into when we start talking about the the Craig movies, because he's talking about like, oh yeah, it's like you're talking about like this is a separate universe. I have problems with that because once you start watching those movies, it's like they're doing all these references to the other stuff, and it's confusing to the audience. 'Cause you're like, is it still? Are we still doing a reboot, or is this now kind of not a reboot? Like, and that's why I
Tough.
think people say the things that you say, where they're like, oh, you watch Casino, and then you go and then Quantum, and then you watch Doctor No, and goes back, and like I'm like, I don't know if I completely buy that, but it's also, and I know you've always like you and I've talked about it, and you're like, well, it's actually just a reference to the other movies, but I'm like, it doesn't. It's a reference that doesn't quite make sense to me. Like, why have the DB5 in there when you could have a up-to-date vehicle that would make more sense to be driving around in? So it's like, okay,
sure.
I guess. And then on top of that, you make all these other, like the films make all these other subtle references to other things that happened in the previous Bond films. I'm like, okay, are we referencing things now, or is the same universe? Like, pick one.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
I
even
liked
down
the idea
to,
originally
my
when it
name's
was like,
Eve Moneypenny, and it's like,
yeah,
she looks at camera like,
yeah. And then I'm like, I get
it's
it.
like
Okay, I know this is supposed to
they
be new,
didn't
but
need to
you made
do
some
such
references to other stuff.
ham-fisted stuff. Yeah, but
Yeah.
for me though, just across the board, the cleanest is just the 20 movies and then the 5, and any references in the 5 are kind of to who just said that? QWERTY said it's like Batman. In one of the episodes, I said that. I said it for me, especially growing up watching these and not knowing the order and just watching them randomly, I
Yeah.
always did consider it closer to Batman, where you just go watch any Batman animated movie, and you got Batman and you got Joker, and it's like every time you're watching it, there really is no continuity. All it comes down to is Batman is this character, Joker is this character, and maybe the last movie you watched, maybe he killed Joker, maybe Joker did this or that, but it's like the deck gets reshuffled every time, and that's why I see that similarly because of all the troubles that they had with copyright and with Kevin McClory and all that. What it led to was, honestly, having read all the books now, I think one of the biggest tragedies is that You Only Live Twice, which may always be at the bottom of our list. Who knows? You Only Live Twice was a phenomenal book. I loved it. And in that book, that's where Bond kills Blofeld. That's where Bond gets revenge for Blofeld killing his wife. And the tragedy is that they made You Only Live Twice before they made Secret Service, because everything was just backwards and fucked up and, and nonsensical. And that would have been, it would be, how different would the world be if they would have started with Casino Royale and made all of the movies in a row, just as Ian Fleming designed them. But instead, and to my ultimate point is that, you can try to throw all this logic behind it that you want. You can make infographics and all that. But what it comes down to is you just had some guys who were just trying to make it, just trying to like just getting the first movie made was a miracle for them.
Yeah.
And they just kept running into problems. And it's like, okay, Connery doesn't want to do it anymore. Okay, just recast him. Okay, then do this. Okay. And how about in the next movie, we'll just connect it by having him go visit the gravesite of Tracy. And that's really what it comes down to, is Tracy just ends up being the through line through all of those 20 movies. But it works. You can believe it. Anybody trying to make sense of it, if you went and talked to Cubby would be like, we were really just like making it up on the fly because we had to. It was just like we were desperate. Like we did what we had to do.
I get that.
Like,
I get that
speaking.
each film. Yeah, because I know. Yeah, because we talked about it as we talked through each film. Is that they, even when they started, they wanted to do Thunderball first, and they couldn't do Thunderball first, and they had to go do the Dr. No, and then they wanted to do, I think right after From Rush with Love, they wanted to do On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and they couldn't do it, so they had to do Goldfinger. Like there were multiple times when this happened. I think it's funny is that when they had made the decision to do Casino, and I think we could save some of this conversation for later, but I just think it's funny when they made the decision to be like, okay, we're going to reboot the franchise in much the same way as Batman Begins did. We're going to kind of start fresh. This is like, we're starting completely over. It's like, okay, great, you're starting over, but then they never followed through completely with that, or like that's kind of how it felt, because they're still dealing with the same issues they were dealing with when they made the first, batch of 20 films. Is you had legal issues with who owned what rights to which books, actors change, wanting to do different things, audiences not receiving certain films very well, so they had to make changes there. Like, you can see that they're dealing with the same problems. It's just now we're doing it in 5 films versus 20 films, and they're taking longer to make the movies anyway. So between film to film, because the first 6 films, first 5-6 films were made like a year apart from each other. So we had to
we
wait.
We said at one point, like, I can't
exactly
help but notice a parallel between that and this show, where it's like they made it really quick in the beginning, and then over time they needed to take bigger and bigger breaks, and then it got more and more complicated. And it's like, it's funny. It's funny.
That's exactly
a really funny comparison to draw. The production value is a lot better now, but it takes them forever to get it out, and then there's like hardly any continuity between them. Like, last time we saw Charles, he was 40 pounds heavier. Like, what happened?
Exactly.
I got COVID too. At one point I got COVID. It was like, sorry guys, I'm gonna lose like
a
week or 2 of work. But not really. I mean, I laid on the couch and I watched every Resident Evil movie. That was how I spent COVID. Still watching Resident Evil movies, and the whole time I was like, God, I would love to rank these. Like, what a curveball that would be, to go from ranking Bond to ranking shitty ass Resident Evil movies.
I feel like that would be a living hell. That really would be.
Yeah,
but the Bond films,
I have a lot to say about it.
We get varying quality in the Bond films, but watching something like Resident Evil, where it's like, I would say Fast and the Furious might be the same way, but I feel like I'd have more fun with Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
It's about family, bro.
Family.
All right.
Travis is saying No Time to Die basically ruined the chance of a really great adaptation of You Only Live Twice because it uses too much from it. I don't agree.
Possibly. The important thing is what he's getting at is, of course, like the castle with the poison and all that, and if they did, it depends on how they're doing it. You Only Live Twice proper would be the reason why You Only Live Twice was so much fun was that it comes after Secret Service, so Bond's wife has been killed, and he's a wreck, and then he goes to this is me dusting off the novels after like 8 months of whiskey. He's basically, because he's just a mess, they send him to Japan to on like something of an easy or it's not an easy mission. It's a mission that it's like, okay, Bond, this mission is either going to kill you or it's going to cure you. And he kind of knows that because he's just kind of been floating around like boozing and just being an idiot because his wife died. So it's it's like, let's just send Bond on an impossible mission, and if he dies, he dies, and if he lives, well, great, we can put him back to work again. So so they sent him off to hang out with Tiger, and Tiger's like, the Japanese women are good to fuck. Like they just go around, they just like bang chicks.
This is why we can't do live streams, Charlie. This is why we can't do live streams.
Dude, wait until you watch
God.
the DAD episode. I just like, Nans and I have a lot of fun with it. Like, Asian people are the greatest, and they're so much. I love talking in a deep Japanese voice. I love it. Like, if anybody ever calls it racist, I'll slap them in the face because it's so much fun. Exactly. Well, there you go.
I enjoy it.
Our resident half Asian always laughs at it. So. But
is that his white half?
We made the joke
anyway,
at one point where
QWERTY said, why would you subject yourself to those garbage movies? Because yes, they're garbage.
Oh, Resident Evil.
Fun.
I
don't know if he's talking about Resident Evil or the Fast.
I was on the COVID.
I
couldn't help myself.
Right?
Fast and the Furious varies in greatness. Yes, it gets shitty,
fun.
but it's
the best one is Tokyo Drift.
No.
Dude, Patrick, you guys should rank all the drinks from the Bond franchise. I think we do that every episode. We're just like, McCurdy
Maybe we
drinks
can get
whatever
sort
Bond
of
is drinking.
Channel sponsor.
Does this mean the next episode we have to make the Vesper?
Vesper Martini.
Okay, so
Vesper Martini.
Well, okay, Travis, that was the weird thing.
Point,
the weird thing was that they like
or something.
The weird thing about No Time to Die, yeah, they had your Castle of Death, Poison Garden, and Shatterhand was Blofeld, right? Like in the novel, it's like this guy's name's Shatterhand, and he turns out to be Blofeld. And then Bond's like, what a weird fate that I would be sent on this mission to investigate this thing. And the guy, the nemesis of that mission ends up being Blofeld, the guy who killed my wife, and he gets revenge on Blofeld and Bunt, by the way. He takes out Bunt, who we said before, like in the movies, Bunt's the actual person who shot Tracy in the face, and then we never see her again. And that's just part and parcel of the whole franchise kind of being a bit of a mess. But anyway, with this movie though, they could have had like a they felt the need to recast Blofeld. And that's something we'll talk about in that episode where it's like, why couldn't you just give Christoph Waltz the honor of just continuing to be Blofeld? But, oh, no. But so-and-so just won an Oscar. So Christoph Waltz is old news. So if we're chasing trends, we have to bring on Remy Malek or whatever. Like, it's just, that's where I'm just like, can you guys just focus on making good movies and not chasing trends? Like you have the power to do that now. You have the influence and the know-how to make good movies without chasing trends. We get why you had to do it in the past, but can you stop? Can you just focus on quality now?
I don't know if that's exactly what happened. I think what happened was,
why Remy Malek though?
I think what happened was Fukunaga had an idea for a story, and he didn't want to be held bent on having to do repeats with Blofeld, because they're like, well, we have Blofeld in the story still. So he's like, well, this is the idea that I had for my story, and then he went with that, and they were like, okay, we'll go with that. That's what I think.
I think
it was like, I don't want to
be surprised if producer mind was like, oh, that gives us an excuse to get. We'll get the Grammy winner to do the song, and we'll get the Oscar winner to do the bad guy. And then, it's like,
I think that's what happened. I think he had a different story.
In Die Another Day, we talk about how Bonds never get a good send off, and No Time to Die was, you could argue either way. We'll get to that. But like in general, Bonds just don't get a good send off. It's like their first movie is great, and then they just kind of wane over time, and it's just kind of inevitable, and it's unfortunate, and it's just kind of part of it. And it would be the remedy to that would be to actually fucking plan out 5 movies, or just plan out 3. Next time how about for your next Bond, even if it's Henry Cavill, how about you plan out 3 movies and then you go make them? do it Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings style, instead
Do you
of
have a
just
crush
on the
on Henry?
fly.
Or is there
Huh?
a rumor that it's going to be him?
There's several rumors that it's between Henry Cavill. I saw something about Tom Holland being like the new
Oh
Bond,
God, no!
which I was like, really, Tom Holland?
Let's make a child be Bond.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
not young. He just has a very young look, and it doesn't help that he played Spider-Man, who's supposed to be a younger
Nah,
character.
Bond has to be like a middle-aged guy.
Like in his 30s, late 30s, mid 30s, something like that.
Yeah, like wasn't it Connery who was like Connery and Moore were like it should always be a
They were in
35-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you guys want to keep? If you guys want to keep hanging out, I will get more beer. But otherwise, I was gonna replay.
That'll clear the room.
No Hands to Love You, and then terminate things.
I was gonna. Well, Qwerty was saying planned
Idris would
movies.
be
No
great.
way. My only thing to that is Short King as Bond.
The Short King is Bond.
That's funny.
Wait, what does that
one thing
mean?
I would-
Short King?
You never heard Short King before?
No.
It's like a
I mean,
term
we're
people
short
use
kings,
for like good.
but
We're short kings, like
we're all
good-looking
short.
guys that are short because they're not like 6 foot.
Oh, Tom Holland is a Short King.
He's a short king because he's a good-looking guy, but he's short.
I've never
didn't know
heard
he
that.
was
That's
short.
really funny.
It's
What
kind of
about
like
Tom
a new
Cruise?
term that people use. these
That
days.
would really be confusing.
It's one of the new kid terms. Dead ass
I
for real
wouldn't
for
know because I'm 6.5 feet tall. Everybody listening knows that's a lie.
We're gonna lose so many subscribers when they find out I'm 5'6".
But that guy's pole for real though.
Charlie's
Um,
5'6" and a
uh,
half.
Well, no, okay. Like to Travis's point, I think like Idris Elba, I guess, said he doesn't want to just be known as the Black Bond, which is like it's like no, dude, just make one. Like
Why
right
is
now,
he being
just
racist?
make a quick.
Idris is
Yeah.
great.
Exactly. Like that Idris Elba was born to be Bond. Like and to just make one. If you don't want to do that much, like again, I make that joke in Die Another Day. I'm like, George Lazenby understood. Just make one Bond movie. Don't make more than one. Like just make one and be done. And Idris should
I don't
just
think
do
he
that.
understood. I think he was very much under the influence. But
Well, I know, but that's the joke is that like in the end, it almost looks like he was smart. Like, you want to make 7? No, I'm just gonna make one that 50 years from now people will appreciate.
so aren't you supposed to promote the movie? Why are you in a beard? Because I don't want to be in these movies. I just wanna,
Why do you have
I
hair
just want
down your
to
ass?
smoke my weed.
Yeah, I just
I
want to
just wanna
keep
smoke
banging
weed
women
and bang women.
Yeah,
That's all I want
yeah.
to do.
All right. Anything else, fellas? Because I'm just gonna play Dr. No.
I feel like
Wait,
there's a whole other discussion.
Who's
to be
49?
had
Wait,
about-
who's 49? Not Idris Elba. Is Idris Elba 49?
I mean, who was? Didn't we say that someone was older than?
Under the laws of Black Don't Crack, they could make
Idris Elba is
20
49.
years of Idris Elba Bond movies. They should invest in him if they're going for the long term. He says yes. Invest in him and not Tom Holland. Tom Holland, by the time he's Idris's age, he's gonna look like a zombie.
Let's let Tom
Meanwhile,
Holland
Idris
do
will
the
still look beautiful.
silly video game movies.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I don't mean
share-
Bond video games.
I'm just gonna play it while we're talking. When this song ends, I'm gonna terminate the feed.
Is this which one is this? This is the first one he's playing?
Yeah, the one we started with.
The walls have ears.
Again, this is No Hands to Love
Shadows
You.
betray you.
Electra King is the only main villain to fuck James Bond.
All your brain.
Not wrong.
Oh, Electra.
Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you to the members. And the other guy who's not here.
Yeah, It's
calling the
good.
doctor.
Good to see you guys after
Can you fix
5
a
months.
broken
God, that
heart?
number makes me want to puke.
Tell me you love
No,
me.
we never finish the streams on the books, but we
Till
will.
death do
We will.
us part.
We should maybe in like a
Calling the
week or something.
doctor.
When I put
we
down
could've
writing
finished
mine
it
Need
tonight
it short,
too.
I need it quick.
Let's just start
No
doing it
hands
right
to
now.
kiss you, no
Yeah.
hands to
I thought about
kill
doing
you,
it,
no hands
but,
to
like,
love you again.
We'll do it another night. And like specifically, it'll be part 3 of going to the book.
So are we going to get rid of the stock music song in the intro for ranked and put this in there instead?
Yeah, good.
a good
Good.
question.
I do love that song though.
Yeah, that's the guy for the instrumentals only or something. Of
Yeah.
both
No,
songs.
it's gotta be this one.
It's just the whole song.
Have them do a song for ranked.
Oh, ask him to do like a custom opener.
Yeah, do a custom, however long it is, but it's ranked. But it's like the style of James
Can't hear you. I'm headbanging.
Can you fix a broken heart? Tell me you love me. You love me. Till death do us part. Calling the doctor. Doctor. Need a shock and need it quick. No hands to kiss
yeah, we
you.
should
No
just go
hands
for
to
30.
kill you. No hands to love you. Love you again. Calling the doctor. Can you fix a broken heart? Tell me you love me.
There we go.
You love me. Till death do us part. Calling the doctor. Doctor. Need a shot and need it quick. No hands to kiss you. No hands to
Where's the
kill
Cayman
you.
Jacks?
No hands to love
I don't have
you.
any.
Love you again. Doctor, no.
And this, right? Like the Morse code, just like in the movie. It's a good touch. Good touch.
I wonder if he matched it to the actual opening.
I don't think so. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye. Goodbye.